and welcome. So, happy Valentine's Day for those of you who are joining me. It is like negative 20 degrees here where I'm at, so I hope you all are staying safe and warm and healthy wherever you're at. So I had the idea that I would be drawing some obviously Valentine themed art. I had found this list of like 100 different interactions between like fictional couples or whatever, so I thought it would be fun to do like a D100 roll on it and see what came out of it. Or failing that, maybe some cheesy D&D themed Valentines. I made some a few years ago, 2 years ago, maybe last year, and I had fun doing those, so I was thinking maybe it was time for a new round. So I'm gonna go ahead and start a new layer. I apologize in advance if I cough a ton, because there was somebody whose car was like stuck in an intersection and I hopped out with a couple of other people to help push. It was really cold and I wasn't quite dressed for that, and I've been coughing ever since. So I don't think I'm sick, I just think my lungs weren't too happy about that. Alright, I also tried to situate my mic somewhere else so that it wouldn't be making a ton of noise whenever I typed something or hit a button or drew, so we'll see how that goes. Alright, so I need to go over to my list and my dice roller and see what I'm going to start off with. So I'm still trying out some stuff with streaming, and as mentioned before, I personally find it difficult to draw and talk at the same time, so it's always kind of a fun exercise trying to get back into that groove. Alright, so I'm going to roll. I got an 85. Let me see what that is on my list. One giving a gift to the other. Oh, that's fun. Alright. So let's see. One giving a gift to another. So here's the problem. I need people to draw. One giving a gift. And that is, we'll call that 85, so I don't forget. Trying to think. Who is going to be giving a gift to who? So I have a couple of characters I like to draw. It's originally the parents of like one of my D&D characters, and then I got interested more in their story than in my actual D&D character story. So I have this human paladin and an orc, basically like a druid, and I've been writing a story about them, and it's kind of fallen on the back burner as I've been moving and going through the pandemic like everybody else, but maybe I'll do that. So let's hop into an undersketch, because I think last stream I just hopped right into drawing the detailed fine lines, and it turned out, it turned out okay, but I think I'd want to just do a little warm-up and actually have like some sort of construction happening. So they're fun to draw. I personally like drawing them because I'm a big fan of the size difference thing, so like having like a huge just jacked dude with, you know, a girl who's like normal size. I don't know. I'm super into that. So I think it's really funny to like play up the differences between how tall or how big somebody is. So we'll see. I'm not sure what the gift is. I know who the characters are going to be, but I'm not sure what exactly is going to be involved in this scene. So I think there's going to be a little bit of exploration as we try to figure this out. I think I'm gonna make him stooping because he's very much taller than she is. And she's maybe gonna be like on her, I don't know. Well, not on her tiptoes. We're not gonna be able to see her feet, but I think she is gonna have to be like craning her neck to look up at this dude. So we'll see how this goes. I've been drawing a little bit more recently, which has been fun and nice, and just kind of a welcome break from just everything going on. But I do think it's like anything, if you don't use it, you start to lose it, and so I can like feel myself getting rusty from not drawing. So I think trying to make streaming and drawing a regular thing so I can at least be keeping in practice that way. So in my head, this character is roughly like 7 feet tall, and the human character, Brightholt, or Lynn, she's not especially short for a human. She's just short compared to her boo. So it's always fun trying to like rough out a sketch and then realizing, oh no, I made one too big or too short or too tall or whatever. So it's always fun playing with proportions. Alright, so let's see. Let me see. Also, I'm not sure if I'm going to take a second and check my settings on Twitch to make sure it's actually going through. Again, this is kind of a, excuse me, a new bit for me. So let's see. I would like to go to my channel, please. Oh, there we go. Perfect. Okay, cool. All right, so it does appear to be working. Excellent. All right, let's get back to what I was doing. I know, I'm going to stage this a little bit differently. I think I'm going to scoot her back. And I think I'm going to have him in a little bit more of a profile. So one of the other dangers, I think, of heading into a stream or into any drawing is, well, maybe it's not a danger, maybe it's part of the journey, is just trying to figure out what it is that you want to do. Like, I had the general idea, okay, well, I want to draw Valentine's themed stuff. But again, kind of what's entailed in that? You know, who or what am I going to be drawing? So I try to take some of the guesswork out of it by having this generator, but then we have to think about, well, who are we going to be drawing? So I think this is going to turn into, yeah, probably D&D themed stuff, because I think that's where my brain has been at. That's kind of that's where I've been at for the last, I think, couple of years. So we'll see. We'll see. I don't know. I'm trying to think of like a fandom that I'm in. Oh, I know what I was gonna draw. I was thinking of maybe drawing some Hades stuff. That's always fun. I've been wanting to get back into playing Hades, because once I beat the game a couple times, or once I escaped a couple times, I think I just needed to take a break from it, because I had been just kind of regularly playing it. So I know there's still a bunch of other achievements I have to unlock, but yeah, I just needed a break from it. I was playing it so frequently. I'd also like to get back into maybe a little Fall Guys. I definitely got my money's worth out of that, and then just kind of got burnt out from playing it. So I don't know what this gift is. I think it's just gonna be like box. and you can make up sort of what all is happening inside of it. I don't know what it is. So I'm gonna put her in probably like, I don't know, some sort of cozy sweater. It's sweater weather here. Actually, it's more like parka weather. Like if you're outside and you don't have gloves, you are gonna freeze and get like frostbite. But we'll make it look like, oh, like it's fall. It's you know, early spring type weather. This is me wishful thinking. So I'm gonna do a little cleanup on this, because I'm always, I don't know, I like doing sketches, because they're fast, you get them out sort of quickly. I sometimes like doing finished art, but I think I'm really big on making sketches and stuff, so I just kind of want to get through this, because I'd like to make a finished piece for the stream. I think that would be fun. I did make a maquette of this guy, of the orc character, Dunok. His design has been kind of fluctuating, so that's, I think, kind of a side effect of drawing a character for a while, is you kind of develop a shorthand for drawing them, and sort of that original design becomes, it just evolves and grows as you get more and more used to drawing a character. So I think he's going to be wearing some like long sleeves too. But he's big, he's jacked. We see his muscles. Alright, let's see. I think I'm going to give her like typical like anime. Like, yay! Happy face. I don't know. For some reason, that's kind of where my brain's at. Even though I think her personality is a little more like, not quite in this vein. This is not very indicative of who she is. So, she's a little flustered. But it is not easy to fluster her. She's not a very, flappable person. Giving that feeling when. Giving gift to crush. I don't know, he's got to be holding something too, I feel. So maybe they're doing like an exchange. A present exchange. Yeah, I don't know, I'm not sure. I'm still trying to feel this particular scenario out. Did he already give her a gift? We don't know. Alright, I think he's gonna be wearing like jeans. He's got a butt. Alright, let's see. Let's make a new layer. Let's put some line art on this. Let's see where this goes. I'm gonna drop the opacity down. And let's do some line art. I'm also gonna try to keep from zooming in. I'm gonna see if I can sort of ink and keep the screen stationary so it's not quite as jumpy on playback. I know that can be a little, you know, kind of disorienting to watch, so we'll see. I think I've mentioned it before, but I do have a tendency to really work within like this very narrow window of the canvas, and it's literally like in this spot. It's just super cozy for me to work in, and I think I'd like to break myself of that habit and explore the rest of the canvas. Also, parenthetically, profiles are really hard. I need to practice drawing them a little bit more, because I feel like that's, I don't know, that's my like kryptonite. I can't do it. I might do one good one, and then all of a sudden the machine just breaks. I can't do a profile at all. I think it's actually harder to do like Brightholt's profile, so like this female character. I find it harder to do her profile than it is to do his. It's just something about that profile. It's so hard. So make sure you practice. Practice stuff you're not good at so you can bust it out easily. Like, nobody likes to do stuff they're not good at, but the only way you can get good at stuff is if you do it, is if you make mistakes. Don't be like me. Don't stick in your comfort zone. So another thing I have difficulty drawing is like feet, which, hey, look, these characters their feet are out of frame. Good for me. I don't have to draw them, thank God. But yeah, feet are tricky. I love drawing hands. I know a lot of folks have difficulty drawing hands, but I love them. But I find I tend to get kind of complacent in how I draw them. There's like maybe a handful, get it? There's a handful of poses that I'll draw hands in, because those are the ones that I kind of have memorized, and I find it just really easy to kind of bust those out. If it's like a less common pose, one that I'm not as familiar drawing, that's where, again, the whole machine starts to break down, and then I have to, like, you'll see me posing with my hand held up, trying to figure out how does this pose go. But that's also helpful too. That's a helpful tool, is looking at real life and seeing how do real hands do? What do they look like? All right. So this is one of my most favorite of hand poses, right? The hand holding stuff. It's got it all. It's got the thumb. It's got kind of the fingers that are cupping something. You know, it's a good pose. I also think the hand is in the wrong location relative to the sleeve, so I've got to kind of adjust that. And then if the fingers are like curling away from the camera, that makes it interesting too, because if you've got a character who's got like sort of, hey, welcome cat, welcome to the Valentine's Day stream. I was just going to tweet like, oh yeah, hey, I'm on. I completely forgot to do that. I think I'll do that now. But yeah, we're doing Valentine's Day art. I am rolling on a table of character interactions and using a D100 to help me do it. So got an 85, and it's one character giving the other a gift. So this is, as most of my introductory drawings, it's a warm-up. So you miss the first 15 minutes of me fooling around trying to figure out what these two folks are doing. So going for basic ass profile. All right, let me try to type in this URL, and oh gosh, so forgive my coughing in advance. I've been out in the cold today, and my lungs are not happy with me. I'm fine, but I can't seem to shake this cough, so we'll see. I'm gonna be drinking some tea. So I was just lamenting my lack of practice overdrawing the human profile, which is helpful, or not helpful rather, but that's okay. I'm moving on to the orc profile, which is a little more fun to draw, since it's not based in reality, and therefore a little easier to kind of, you have some wiggle room. Yep, cold air makes lungs sad. It really does, and I think being out here has given me a healthy appreciation for, or rather a renewed appreciation for the power of nature, because once the temperature drops below a certain point, the human body just can't survive in it. It's not designed to. I was out in the element for maybe like 5 minutes, and I was wearing gloves, but my fingers were just like, and there's no more feeling, and you need to go home and get under your kotatsu because there's just no feeling happening. It's literally like if your car craps out in the parking lot like mine did last week. You know, you'd be having a real bad time. So thankfully I was able to get a new battery with a very good warranty. But it's been a week of learning about how cold weather affects cars and stuff. Things that I never knew. My kotatsu has been like a lifesaver. It's like where I spend 50% of my day. Like I have heat. I have decent heat, but there's nothing that really compares to the feeling of just sitting under a basically blanket hug of warmth. It's very good. 10 stars, would recommend it, even in California. Oh yeah, that's me. Like I don't mind the cold, but we're in the negatives here. Like they have the little weather graph that does like, oh, it does like this, right? But the numbers, like this number at the peak is like -10, and then it's like -23. And this isn't an exaggeration. That's literally what the forecast looks like. I've never seen these numbers before, and it's a little tough to process. So it's been a lot. But thankfully, I work indoors. I have a kotatsu. But yeah, it's wild. I kind of took for granted how good the weather was in California. But it's okay. Yeah, it's fine. I went to the store today and was wearing like, you know, thermals, parka, like trapper hat. But at least I like had the equipment for it. Apparently there's like winter warnings all over the country, but in places that aren't, like they aren't built to handle that type of weather. So like Texas, it's almost like if LA suddenly got like 3 inches of snow. Imagine how chaotic that would be. So at least out here, like life goes on if there's like a bunch of snow, which unfortunately life goes on. It's like, well, I still have to go to work, but yeah, it would be really hard, I think, to be someplace where like they don't have the snow plows, they're really not used to it. So yeah, there was like somebody, they were basically in my shoes except in the middle of the intersection, or at a stoplight. Their truck died, and I was like pulling past them, and it was like, you know, older lady and a dude maybe in his 30s, and it looked like they were trying to push their truck. And so I like had to swing around a couple of times to try to maneuver myself. By the time I got there, they had made the turn like where they were going, but they still needed more help pushing. And yeah, it's just like, you know, people were jumping out and helping them move and stuff. But yeah, it's just like, dang, in the face of nature, everybody has to like pull together, and that's just what, you know, people just do it out here, because without help, like, you're just stuck. So much giant pickup truck. Yeah, in Tennessee, I mean, I really have no knowledge, or no like super detailed knowledge of like what the weather patterns are like in other states. But yeah, I know places like, yeah, like Tennessee, like Texas, and like they're not, to my knowledge, known for having a ton of like winter weather. So it's just wild looking at the sort of distribution of weather and going like, I don't think these places are really like, that's not their jam. That's not what they do. Here in the Midwest, at least, they're like, you know, it snows and then the snowplows come out and stuff. I think it was last year or 2 years ago. It was some random southern state that got it. It was like Georgia or something. And they were like, we are 110% not like ready for this. It was crazy. So I feel like this is just like round 2 of that. So I'm just like, everybody stay safe, please. Stay indoors. Don't drive anywhere. Have just have like emergency stuff. Like I learned about, or I had to utilize like a battery jumper. Basically like a crash cart for your car battery, because mine was so cold and so like undercharged. It was like I can't do anything. So I literally had this like external battery to jump my own battery. It was wild. But I think I'm done with this. So these are my OCs. This is Brightholt over here, giving a gift to her boo, Dunak, who doesn't have a right arm, but that's okay. I can just crap one in real quick. Oh goodness. Oh goodness. This is why we do under sketches, to avoid this, but oh well. Alright. I'm done with the Slayer. I'm going to... Thank you. I like drawing them. They're like, I don't know, my emotional support OC couple. 72. Let's see, what is that on the table? 1, getting the other's attention. Okay. So let's start. A new layer. Nope, I didn't want a new window in Chrome. So 1, getting the other's attention. So I can draw my characters again. I'm super down with that. I don't know if you have any suggestions for 2 characters I should be drawing, or 2 characters you would like to see. They do not have to be romantically involved. Because again, it's Valentine's Day. There's all sorts of love. So, I think I'm defaulting to like D&D themed stuff, but I'm absolutely not locked into that. So, oh, excuse me. Oh, tea. I love it. I think, so I'm going to go ahead and write this prompt down. It was 72. 1, getting the other's attention. So we'll just say, give me attention. Head empty mode today. That's a big mood. That's been me since like March. Like literally. It's yeah. I don't know. It's like there's so much going on just randomly that it's like, you know, my brain can't, and my brain knows this. And yeah, it's like, this is why I'm using like a prompt generator. I'm like, I can't generate stuff on stream. I need assistance. All right, so here's what I think I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do Hades. What is that letter? Hades. I want to do a little Thanatos and Zagreus. But the question is, who's going to be getting whose attention? Oh no. Well, don't let me distract you from your homework. But yeah, that's me, but like with other stuff I'm supposed to be doing, it's like I I cannot. I know I have stuff to do, but I just, even if I'm doing stuff all day, I feel like I'm not productive. Like, I got a lot done this weekend. Do I feel like I did anything? No. Thanos. Thanos Sag would be a very, that's, I could do two different versions. Because we could do Thanatos and Thanos. So Thanatos and Thanos. Zag. I'm just gonna leave that just floating up there. What a cursed thought. Yeah, I feel the same way. Like, time has entered into just, I don't know, not even, it's not a loop, it's just, I feel like we're in like a lobby, just like a waiting room, except I don't know what we're waiting for. COVID's not going anywhere, and meanwhile people are walking in and out of the waiting room like everything's fine, so I honestly don't know. So we'll see. But it's good to know, like, I'm not the only one. I know I've done things, but what have they been? So I feel like, attention please. I don't know. I'm not going to default to that pose. I'm a big fan of doing like the person torso and arm crossing over like this. But I think I want to do, I don't know, maybe like a split screen, sort of anime-esque, or I guess manga-esque. You've seen it in like animes and stuff where the characters are like, oh hey, they're standing at the entrance of the high school or something, and they're like, oh hey, so and so. They're just waving. Obviously this is Zagreus. She's just got whole titty out. And I think Thanatos will be like, what? Like over here. Oh, he needs to look more disinterested. Eh. But yeah, so it's good to know others are feeling the same way, because I'm just like, is it me? Am I the only one who's just kind of flailing or floating around my apartment, just like doing things, but not feeling like I'm really getting anywhere? So who knows? Zagreus is a puppy. He's just a golden retriever, and I love him. He's got golden retriever energy. Yeah, like right before I moved, I was staying for a few months with someone who had 2 golden retrievers, and I'd never actually had like a lot of dealings with golden retrievers. Like, I knew people who had dogs, but this was the first time I was kind of like, you know, just up close and personal with 2 of them. One was like old girl. She was, I don't know, maybe like 7, 8, 9 years old, and just a sweetheart, just very chill. And then there was like Satan, the puppy, who was like a year old and just would chew on you, would chew on everything, would destroy things. Just too much energy. And she was also very sweet when she wanted to be. And yeah, it was it was great. I was just like, man, the ideal scenario is perhaps not. She was, though. She was. She looked, I'll put some pictures up in the Discord. She looked like she just looked like such a sweetheart. She had just like classic golden retriever face. Like picture iconic golden retriever, but like puppy. And then just like make it the most destructive force of nature like ever. Yeah, she just chewed on stuff, and it was just a little terror. But you know, but yeah, they were great. Aside from the whole destructive aspect, and yeah, they're just sweet dogs. They're like family folks. They gotta be near. They gotta be near their people, and yeah, like if they weren't around you, they were like pressed up against the glass, like, please come out and play with us. Oh yeah, she had just, I think she was growing out of her puppy teeth about the time that like I like came there. But yeah, she just didn't know, she had no idea like how powerful her jaws were. So sometimes she would like nip you and it would just be like, oh, ow, God. And my buddies out here, they actually got a new boxer puppy, which I don't recall if I put him in the Discord, but he's been growing like a ton. I just went over the other day. He's actually been losing his puppy teeth, and he's like doubled in size, and again, just doesn't know how powerful he is. Okay, cool. But I think you've seen like puppy, like real teeny puppy photos. He's just a big chonker now. He's just a long boy. And yeah, it's just, every time I go over there, he's like grown a foot. And he too does not know the strength of his own teeth. So he'll be nibbling on stuff and it's like, sir, you're going to draw blood. 12 weeks. So yeah, gosh, he's like, he was born in August, they said. So yeah, that's like, what, half a year old now? I felt so, like, I missed it. Someone threw a tennis ball. He goes into the kitchen, which has got like the just really polished tile floors, and his paws just go shooting out from under him and he just wipes out. But he's like still running as he's wiping out. And it's like, sir, you need to get your feet under you first, maybe. So yeah, he's just all legs. He's all legs and a little bitty torso. He was okay. They're like, he jumps everywhere. He's jumping on the couches. He's falling off stuff. But yeah, he's a big doofus. He's a boxer. But they're like, he's still not as bad as their previous puppy, who really was Satan incarnate. Her name was Chloe, with a K, as in Kardashian, and she was cute as a button and just evil as hell. She ate like so many pairs of glasses, like retainers, would grab food off the counter. Yeah, she was very cute, but very evil. So I'm like, can you guys get like a puppy who's not evil? Could you just get like a cute puppy? So Lando, who is the puppy, is like, he seems to be that way. But he's also a little turd, so. Alright. So here we have Zagreus, puppy incarnate. Oh no. Yeah, boxers have so much personality. It's like, you can, when you tell them to do something, like, oh, sit, you can see them like sort of thinking, I could sit, but how does that benefit me? Oh no. Oh. Gosh. Yeah, I feel like they have big doofus energy, but they're actually smart. It's like I don't know, they're dumb but they're not stupid, which is like a weird concept, but it's like no, they're doofusy, but they've got brains. They've got, they've behind their kind of goofy looking mug, there's an engine that runs a little bit. Okay. Now I have to think about where does his shoulder pauldron go? So I should know this because I have like a very rough sort of Zagreus cosplay in the works. But like I haven't really started on any of the pieces yet. It's more like, oh, I've got like the basic idea for it and I'm starting to gather materials for it, but it's like, oh, I can't just bust this out off the top of my head. Again, I haven't played Hades in a hot minute. Oh, that would be awesome. That would be awesome and just like insane. Her hair alone. Yeah, I think I looked at her design and I was like, man, just her hair alone. I was starting to think like, man, like what sort of engineering would you have to do behind it? Like I know there's a way to do it. And I was like, oh man. So it was for a hot minute, it was a toss up between like, do I want to do Nyx? Do I want to do Zagreus? But then I was just like, well, I'll do Zagreus. I feel like Nyx has just like there's so much. But her design is just bomb ass. It's like chef's kiss. Yes, her necklace, despite me sort of like going off about the wig, it's like that looks like it would still be like one of the more fun things to make. Just all of her accoutrement. Just what a good design. I love Nyx. She's so cool. Like Nyx is she has energy of like, dang, I want to be her. Just so cool. Zagreus, what is your costume doing? He's got like a toga situation happening here. He's got a belt. He's got, I think there's a little boof thing right here. And then he's wearing pants. Oh, yep. They actually had, I forget if somebody tweeted it and I know I saw it, but like I don't remember the things I retweet or like or whatever. Somebody had collected all of the 3D models in one place, like in one thread, almost like a making of or like a behind the scenes situation, and it was just like perfect for like anybody who wanted to cosplay because it just had like the front, the back, the side, any angle that you could possibly want. And I was like, dang, perfect. Okay, now I gotta look up reference for Thanatos because I have absolutely, I know he wears like a hood. He's got like, I don't know what you would call this hair. What do you call the hair that's like parted like that? That's like merp. I don't know. K-pop boy band haircut. Thanatos Hades. Game, please. Bloop. I don't remember. Thanatos is the cool older brother figure in the K-pop, in the Hades K-pop boy band group. Yeah, I'll have to see if I can find it somewhere in my likes, because I feel like I saved it. But it was a super helpful resource because it had, I think it might have been the in-game models, but even so, it was still super helpful to see who was Wearing what? Oh god, he's got this like... Thanatos has got this big old... What is this? It's like wings. What? Which is a super cool design element, but... Sir, why are you facing this way? Now I've got to draw them all over here. Eh. Meh. Also, this wing shape, where it's got this little like swirly bit that goes out into feathers, I feel like is very Cardcaptor Sakura, which was one of the like, I think earliest pieces of like anime, like manga material that I spent like actual money on when I was a kid, because we had a little comic store down the street. My parents were very strict about my consumption of media, so I would be like, oh, I'm going out rollerblading, and I would just like haul ass down the street like a mile on my rollerblades to go like buy a comic, to buy a Cardcaptor Sakura comic. So that was, I don't know, high school. Yeah, that was like high school. So for a little bit, Cardcaptor Sakura was like, I don't know, like the bread and butter of my like manga consumption. And then I think freshman year, Shonen Jump came out, and it was like Naruto, and I didn't get into One Piece, but it was a lot of Naruto, which I still liked for sort of the storytelling. It's early storytelling. Yep, had to keep it hidden somewhere. Absolutely. Mine was like back corner of closet on a top shelf inside a box, like this innocuous looking box. And the more my collection grew, like the harder it got to hide. It was a bad time. Dang. Yeah, like one time, like a buddy of mine had let me borrow, it was like a Spider-Man comic. It was like something innocuous. It was literally like, you know, whatever, The Amazing Spider-Man. And like I was doing the classic hiding it inside my book, inside my textbook so I could read it. And I got found out, and I was super bummed because it wasn't even mine. It was somebody else's. So I did get it back eventually. But yeah, it was just sort of constant stress from like, oh no, what if they find my collection of stuff? Oh, yep, that was me. Yeah, gosh, Shonen Jump was the worst because it was so big. Just these comic anthologies where it's like, okay, it's 2 inches thick, where do I keep it? But I got really good at like smuggling stuff into my house. Like I had a secret compartment cut into the lining of one of my backpacks, so you know they couldn't find it. But yeah, oh damn, that's me. I feel you so much. Yep, my parents would just, and like they didn't even want me to have like Pokemon was, you know, tantamount to the devil. So I was like, okay, well, I don't know what you want from me. But yeah, I got really good at hiding stuff, and I got really good at lying. Like my poker face was very good. Yep. Constant stress though. Yeah, high school wasn't a great time for me. Being in high school with my buddies was a lot more fun because we could, as like juniors and seniors, you could go down to the school cafe, which was separate from sort of our campus, and we would just hang out and we would watch like anime and stuff and play video games. So there were some bits that were decent. Oh god, he has a collar. There were some bits that were decent, but yeah, constant stress, man. Let me enjoy things. Let me enjoy like my very innocuous things. I'm like, I'm not looking at anything that's necessarily bad. I mean, it's kind of weird. It's anime, it's manga, but I was like, damn, let me enjoy something. So, parenthetically, I was also a very good student. So I was like, listen, man, I'm the one you should be worried about the least. I'm getting straight A's. The least you could do is let me, I don't know, read a book. It was good times. So now I'm just like sort of having to relearn, I don't know, being able to enjoy stuff that I like, because I feel like it kind of got broken when I was in high school. Oh, yeah. Yep. Yeah, my parents were that jives with my experience. If I wasn't like studying or doing school stuff, it was like I had to be cleaning up around the house, you know, like, oh, if you have time to be doing this, then like you have time to be doing, you know, something productive. And it was like, humans have to rest sometime. But yeah, so I have my to watch pile is just gigantic. I'm missing huge swaths of pop culture references because I just like, my parents didn't let me watch anything. Conversely, I have friends whose parents let them watch everything, and it's like, well, I'm sorry, I can't. You're making references I can't keep up with. Oh man. So, yeah, good times. And now that I'm of an age where it's like, oh, like, I could watch whatever I want, I'm just like, I'm overwhelmed by the sheer number of stuff, the sheer amount of things that I have to catch up on. So. Yeah, I have, like, pop culture osmosis, where it's like, yeah, I've heard, yeah, it's secondhand. It's absolutely secondhand. Like, somebody referenced it, and I'm like, oh, yeah, I'm familiar with that because somebody referenced that beforehand. Yeah. So, big same. And again, just sort of in the vein of just like everything that's been going on, there's just like so much media being released all the time. I'm just like, I can't keep up. I can't possibly keep up with all this stuff. You haven't seen Star Wars. That's okay. I know lots of folks who haven't seen Star Wars. And yeah, it's one of those series where it like it's referenced so much. You could just not watch it and you know kind of like the major plot points because it's just become like a thing that has made its way into so much media. That's not a tragedy. I mean, I know people are like, oh, I haven't seen Lord of the Rings. And I'm like, it's not everyone's cup of tea. Star Wars isn't everyone's cup of tea. I just react that way because it's like, you know, wow, you haven't seen Star Wars. It's always interesting to meet folks who haven't. Like a buddy of mine, we were watching Star Wars with someone who had never seen it, another buddy's daughter, and it's one of those things where it's like, I grew up watching it. I don't consider myself like a super duper fan. There's lots of corners of that particular universe that I haven't seen. I've seen the main movies. I've seen all the sequels, the prequels, etc. But she was asking questions and I was like, I actually don't know. It's either we explain it using the Force or science. So she's like, why does this thing do that? And we were like, science? The Force? I don't know. So I sort of like hearing from people who haven't seen it because there's stuff you just take for granted. And when someone comes in with a fresh perspective, like you have to think about it now. And you can't just like be, oh, it's just magic or whatever. Oh, yep. I was allowed to see Lord of the Rings for that reason too. Yeah, Lord of the Rings was actually one of those, because I went to a Christian school, and that was, you know, one of the pieces of media they had. And yeah, it just, that kind of became a comfort series for me because it was like one of the, I think, first like fantasy novels that I kind of got into. Like I had heard about it and I knew that it was kind of a, I guess, a cornerstone of the fantasy genre. Um, and when I read it, it was just like, oh, it was one of those things that like resonated with me. Um, because I was in high school and things were shitty, and I just was so hard up for entertainment at that point because it was just like, please give me something that I could just glom onto. Yeah, it absolutely just stuck with me. Even now, people are like, oh, it's boring. And I'm like, well, I mean, it was written however long ago, and all of the tropes you see in it, like, this is kind of where they originated. So, but yeah, that was one of the, when it came out, which the timing couldn't have been better, because I think I picked up the series in high school, so that would have been probably like 2002. And then they made the movies in 2004, so I was like, oh my god, this is like a sign. Like, I literally just got into the book, I just finished the series, and they're making the movies. So, just, it doesn't even matter if people are like, oh, it's not even like a good adaptation. Like, I don't care. Like, it was lightning in a bottle for me. It's like that feeling of that perfect timing of getting into it and then having a movie made of it. It was like, when I finished the books, I wanted more, and I got more. I got movies. So, yeah, I don't know, it's such like, it's like comfort food. I actually have to go buy the books now because I had them, and when I moved, I gave them away because I only had so much room in my Corolla. But yeah, I just want to reread them in preparation of the great Lord of the Rings watch party that I'm on the wrong layer, that we still have to sort of plan out. But yeah, what a good series. I love that series. I'm gonna draw Lord of the Rings next because we've been talking about it. So, I think, you know what I should have done? I should have drawn these guys in like modern clothes. That would have saved me the hassle of having to draw Thanatos's jewelry. I can just put him in a hoodie. Yes. Amazing. Did they like it? Oh. Uh-oh. Good? Bad? Indifferent? So I've heard some folks who were like, oh yeah, like, I tried watching it and I just didn't know what was happening. That's a bummer. Yeah, I feel like there's got to be a little bit of investment. Like, you either have to be like into fantasy or D&D or something related. Otherwise, yeah, I think it just comes from it being, yeah, like a classic piece of media. And also, holy cow, it was made like, geez, like 17 years ago. My god. It's just very earnest. Please give me the director's cut, which I think is the cut that I have on my hard drive, and it's like, I was looking at the timestamps, like, my god, it's like it's split into two 2-hour long segments, and yeah, it's glorious. I'm like, I'm into it. Give me more of that Lord of the Rings action, please. Yeah, I feel like it's something you have to be like into. Again, whether it's you like Lord of the Rings, or you like fantasy, or you like D&D, or you just like a story about just a bunch of dudes being like super earnest with each other. It's just so good. Like, when I moved from California out here, and I was camping as a sort of quarantine, because like, we didn't know at that point what was going on, so I was just like, well, let me not bring California COVID here to the Midwest. So I'm like camping out, near the city, and I had bought a projector because I knew I would be camping, and I was like, yes, I'm going to watch The Lord of the Rings and the Great Outdoors. And I did. And it was funny because, like, that was the first time I had ever watched the director's cut. And, like, I think I grew to like Boromir more as I got older. I think he was cool in the books. Again, it's been a while since I've read them, but in the movie it was like they only had so much time to really build up his characterization. In the director's cut, like, they show, oh, like, he was, you know, this, like, well-loved captain, and he was charismatic, and he had a great relationship with his brother. Stuff that you don't see in the theatrical release. And, like, no joke, I've watched the movie so many times, and then when he dies in the first movie, I, like, legitimately, like, teared up because, and this is, like, I've seen this movie a billion times. Why am I feeling this now? And I think it was just, like, a combination of a lot of stuff. It's like, you know, hey, these people are going through all of this together, and, you know, for us, it's like COVID's going on, and I don't know. It was weird. Just the movie hit differently in the middle of a pandemic than when I was just watching it on my own or whatever. So it was really interesting. I was like, why is this hitting me so hard? Boromir. My only disappointment with the movies is two of my favorite things are Tom Bombadil. Oh my goodness. Yes. And the retaking of the Shire. Man. Tom Bombadil? What a trip. I love Tom Bombadil. Just in the books, it's like, bro, who are you? But also, you're like this unstoppable force of nature. Like, you exist in the same universe as Sauron. What is even happening? So he was, for me, was always like, what is this guy doing? Not that I didn't like him, but it was like, I don't know, like, where in the world building does this guy fit? He always made me laugh, because it was just like, the hobbits are like, they're scared, they're trying to fight off the Barrow Wights, and Tom Bombadil's like, let me just sing some sweet jams at them, and that'll drive them off. I don't know. That was one of the things I was kind of waiting to see when they made the adaptation. Is like, I need to see Tom Bombadil. How are they going to rectify this with this epic tale that they're telling? So I was a little disappointed when he didn't show up too. And the retaking of the Shire, it's like that's like the bookend of the first of the whole thing. It's like they go back and they take their home back. Like, how can you leave that out? They're gonna rectify it by just by omission. I think Radagast the Brown, who is like the other wizard in the Hobbit trilogy, I was like, he has some Tom Bombadil energy, but like more, I don't know, more like Hermit in the Woods. So I feel like if they had just cranked the settings on Radagast up to 11, I feel like we would get Tom Bombadil. But yeah, I was disappointed that I didn't get to see my curiosity played out. So despite all that, I'm like, man, what a good adaptation. Like, you took this classic series, this like big sprawling universe, and just really set the stage for like Game of Thrones, all these other just like epic fantasy series. So what a good series. I love Lord of the Rings. I don't care what anybody says. Give me my group of all dudes traveling through the wilderness. We don't pass the Bechdel test in Middle Earth, but that's okay. Okay, Thanatos, your hair is going to look like this. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, my boy. That's what you get. That's what you get when I'm paying attention to a different conversation than your universe. now we gotta draw Lord of the Rings. Thanatos also just has the most cut cheekbones of anybody in Hades, and approximately twice the chin that I have given him. So clearly I need to make him longer. So indifferent. Oh, he's actually smiling in this picture. Thanatos does not fully smile. Yeah, what a great series. I've started building my Hobbit 7-meal menu plan. I'm gonna put it on the Discord because most of the recipes just come from this this one website that I just cook a bunch of stuff from. Yeah, no, it absolutely was about, like, yeah, it's just this bunch of bros who are just, you know, dudes being bros with each other in a very tender and earnest way. And it's not something that you see a lot of, or any of, I feel. It's like, yeah, I don't know. And again, I think as I got older, it just kind of hit a little differently, because it's like, man, I don't know. Just the energy is so different from, it's fantasy, so it's not what we see in real life, but again, even the male dynamic is just so far removed from what we have in real life. I'm like, take a page from Aragorn's book. Be a wholesome dude with your bros. Thanatos doesn't smile, he just stops frowning. This is true. There are no lies detected in that statement. His mouth just stops being turned downward. Oh, Thanatos. What a great guy. Also, he's just got these, like, very Itachi from Naruto looking under eye bags. I'm assuming he doesn't get any sleep either. That's all his brother. He's got these under bag things, but I think I need to make him burp, burp. There we go. Perfect. Yeah. Hypnos. I love Hypnos. He's like, Hypnos is literally wearing a comforter. Hypnos is living the life. I aspire to that level of comfort that Hypnos has. Oh, didn't want to erase. He's so good. And I just love that Hades, who is just this, like, sort of whip-cracking boss dude, Hypnos just, like, falls asleep right in front of him, and Hades is just like, okay, cool. I guess this is just how it's gonna be. Someone took a screen grab of just, like, him straight up sleeping and floating. They're like, look at this little shit. Look at the sass. He's very good. I love him. All of the characters in Hades are delightful, and their writing is just so good. I had my doubts about it, which I shouldn't have because it's Supergiant Games, it's fine. Because I was like, how do you make a game about Hades, question mark? But now I have no doubts. Ooh, I should draw Achilles and Patroclus. Patroclus? Pat. I don't know how to pronounce his name. So I was looking at some Valentine someone had drawn, which just used really their character art from the game. I'm just like, oh, they have, like, they're, like, mirrored perfectly. So one is facing one direction and another is facing another direction. Supergiant makes some, like, just top-notch stuff. Their storytelling, I feel, has just gotten better and better with each game that they make. So I'm trying to think, what was the first game they made? Bastion was one of the first, well, I think the first game that they put out, and also the first game I played from them. It just had this, like, funky mechanic of the world like appearing around you as you play. And yeah, just like, you know, as the story unfolds, you're just like, whoa. And then I think I was working on my school's yearbook as like a teacher, and the Google algorithm just put out like the Transistor soundtrack, and that's one I think I have in my library that I haven't played, but that one is just wild. And they're all just good games. They're just good, fun games. And it's this little indie studio with like 30 people in it. It's insane. Yes, yes. Just Hades is just about Zagreus going around and making other people's lives better. And it's very good. Again, it's like he's got this like badass character design, and you think like, oh, look, what a Chad. He's probably an asshole. And he's like the most wholesome dude. I'm like, what is this game? I love this game. Why is literally the son of Hades so polite to everybody? I love it. It's such a charming game. I love Achilles. He's just like, look at this big buff sad boy. Oh, I know, right? Just what good mom energy from Nyx. Alright, Thanatos' necklace is not connecting anywhere, but I'm also at a point where I'm about ready to say, look, their outfits don't make sense anyway. It's fine. But yeah, Nyx has got that good mom energy. Got that respect. It connects to magic. It floats. Like everything in Hades, it floats. I don't think I made his bangs wispy enough. They need to frame his face more. Meh. So I think, fun fact, when I started drawing people, I think I did this exact haircut for so many characters. Just putting bangs in front of their face. Classic 90s anime move. As somebody who grew up reading Clamp. Alright. Boom. Oh shoot, I didn't do... We need this. Oh, I'm going to also erase this. And let's do Hey, welcome Dave. Hey, Than. Oh. That might be it. Sounds too cool to actually respond in anything other than a very deadpan, hey. Whoop. Oh gosh, what is my Wacom tablet doing? But yeah, we want, I still haven't gotten everybody to find everybody yet. So I gotta hop back in this game. Get all of the happy endings. Alright, Zagreus doesn't have a hand, but whatever, it's like, he's waving, you get it. Oh gosh, I also forgot his like armbands. I don't remember which ones go on which arm, but that's okay, I'm not gonna look it up. I will fix it later. First you try to leave and now you want to say hi to me? How dare you? I'm gonna change it. He's just gonna say go away. Go away like you originally wanted to. Get out of here. I don't know, let's see. I'm gonna click on this Twitter link and see where it takes me. Because that might be it. It was on Twitter where I saw it. Yes, that's the one. and it went to a Kotaku article. So, yep, that is exactly the one. Thanatos is great. Just, yeah, he just exudes like big salty jerk energy. I love him. It's the exact personality that I just adore. So as soon as he popped up, I was like, I love him. And then he keeps poofing away. It's like, you tried to leave? Now I'm gone. So yeah, I love them. Actually, I think I'm gonna throw a little, I want to throw a little shading on them, because we've been talking about them. So let's do red for Zagreus. What is this? That works. And then we'll do purple. Purple? Yeah, for Thanatos. I have made the executive decision not to draw Thanos and Zag. My brain cannot wrap around that concept at this juncture of my life, so I'm gonna have to save that for another day. But yeah, no, I really love the I love the dynamic of Thanatos. I was just about to say Thanos. I just love their dynamic. And I like the storytelling aspect of, like, you don't know what his deal is until he, like, shows up. And just everything kind of unfolding gradually. It's just really good. Such a good... it's a good dynamic. My brain, I suspect, has already been infected just in general. So never fear, you were not making anything worse that was already sort of happening. So it was bound to happen. All right. So I think I'm just gonna do a little quick value on here, and then we'll move on. Ooh, I did mean to mention, I forgot up until now, there's a movie by the studio that made The Secret of Kells and The Song of the Sea, and their latest movie, Wolfwalkers, is actually free to watch today for like the next however many hours of today remain. Can't remember if I tweeted the link, but yeah, it's literally like, go watch it now because it's available for free today only. So I think as soon as I end this stream, I'm gonna like jump into bed and start watching it, because I have not seen it yet, and that studio puts out amazing stuff. Don't know why my brain is short-circuiting on the name of the studio. Secret of Kells was just amazing. Just, their work is so insane. Just, it's so good. Song of the Sea was good. I think I preferred Secret of Kells, just, I think in general, but yeah, just their work is just so good. But yeah, go watch their movie for free, and then, you know, buy it if you can. Support the studio. So let me see if I can actually get, because I don't remember if I tweeted it, but it is on the Twitters. So, sorry, bear with me. I cannot draw and tweet at the same time. Yes, I did retweet it. So it's on America Cinematheque? No, AmericanCinematheque.com. So yeah, go check it out. Go watch a good movie. I have heard good things about it. Zagthan is puppy and barely tolerant cat energy. Yes, this is true. It's absolutely true. I have come to tolerate your presence. And will look for you if you're gone, but if you're here, I will not act like I'm happy about it. Just strong cat energy. Accurate. Alright. Let's get some color happening, and then we'll move on to the next. I'm not sure what's next, but we'll figure it out when we get there. Alright, so I might noodle around with this a little bit more at some point, but I think I will call it done. I still have to finish noodling on the my superb owl Sunday drawing, because I did want to go in and like edit that, but I did not get around to it today. Sad face, that's okay, because I got to draw these big doofuses. Alright. Boom. Done. Save. Alright. Next, I am going to do one more roll on my magical table. I would love to get like a single digit number. Or 91. That's fine too, I guess. 91. One singing to the other. I think I'm going to roll again. I don't know how I feel about that one. Hobbits singing. Oh. You know what? Okay. Alright. I like it. Hobbits singing. I'm okay with this. I think I'm going to give them... Gosh, now I'm trying to think. What instruments can I give them? I feel like they had little, They're not... My brain is saying violin, but I know that's not right. Accordion. I don't know why my brain said violin. This is a testament to how broken my internal just thought process is. Alright, hobbits singing. I like it. So maybe we'll do a fiddle. Yeah, I could see there being a fiddle. But yeah, it was, my brain substituted fiddle, violin for accordion, and I'm not entirely sure why. I'm not entirely sure why that happened. Thank you. Thank you for seeing the method in my brain's madness. Alright, so, they're fancy hobbits. They are. I think I might do, like, the four lads from the Lord of the Rings. Because I feel like there's strong, like, so you've got, like, the Sam and Frodo, right? Who it's just like, what a great relationship. But then you also have Merry and Pippin, who are just like the Chaos Boys, and they're also just like, just good buds. Also, like, there's a pair of them that are like cousins, and it's not Sam Frodo. I think it might be Pippin. I think it's Pippin and Frodo who are cousins. Also, I pulled out some wigs because I have a Crowley cosplay in the works with Evie, who is Aziraphale. and Evie gave me one of her unused wigs, and I was looking at it because it's like short, it's curly, and if I dyed it brown, it would be like a perfect Hobbit wig. I'm not going to cosplay Hobbit. I did, however, think it would be hysterical to cosplay as a Hobbit for the great Lord of the Rings watch party. That also might be a tad more effort, considering I'm also going to be making food. Yeah, that's... The cozy waistcoat vibes are just so good, and what draw me to the Hobbit aesthetic. Sam is absolutely the real MVP. He carries the ring with no ill effect. Yeah, without him, the mission would have been doomed. People don't respect Sam enough. It's like he was too, I guess, pure-hearted to be really swayed by the ring. But yeah, unappreciated hero. Samwise Gamgee. Samwise Gamgee 2021. Sam carried everything. Sam carried the story on his back. Yeah, I love Samwise. The best line I think he has a lot of good lines, but just the one that never fails to make me laugh is when Gandalf nabs him in the first film and is like, "Have you been eavesdropping?" And he's like, "Honest sir, I haven't been dropping no eaves." And it's like, Sam, just, I love you. Never change. He does recognize the importance of potatoes. Boil them, mash them, stick them in a stew. That's what I say every time I hear potatoes in any context. I don't say it out loud, but my brain immediately just strobe lights, like whatever YouTube video AMV thing, and just potatoes. The potatoes remix. Sam was a gift. Alright, so I think they're all going to be like having a Hobbit jam session, which seems very on brand for hobbits, I think. So I'm not sure who's who. Oh gosh. I've given them all extremely similar haircuts, which is problematic, because now I can't tell them apart. Alright, this is going to be Sam, who carried the weight of the world on his back. What a good friend. I think these are going to be the Chaos Boys. And this is going to be Frodo. Who is perhaps not as chaotic. Alright, so I've drawn myself into a corner because it's like, oh, like, let's have a nice, fun Valentine's Day stream. Let's draw 2 characters interacting. And then on the last drawing of the night, oh, never mind, let's draw 4 characters, because that's a great idea. It's okay. I am here for it. Okay. So, oh no, you don't have to be sorry for anything. Once you said it, I was like, no, this is a great idea. I love it. think talking about Lord of the Rings just really, I was just like, no, now I want to draw it. Now I'm super into it. Couture or Go Home. What a good game. So I really liked the mechanics of the Cthulhu Dark, because it was just like, there's just enough like crunchiness there to make the rules matter, but it was also super, I think once we kind of got into the game, it was easy enough to grasp. So it was an interesting mechanic. I wanna do some delving into the Cthulhu mystique. Mythique? I don't know. Alright, so this is Pippin? Question mark? I guess this is Mary over here, who has no face. And now we've got to think of all the instruments they're going to be playing. So I think, I know I'm going to give someone the accordion. Maybe him. Because he's like front and center. I think it'll be easier to stage this right here. But yeah, definitely go big or go home. What's the point of doing warm-up drawings on stream if you're not going to do just like a just really nutty one at the end of it? How do you draw accordions? I don't know. I'm just going to make it up. They look kind of like this. How does one play an accordion? Again, I don't know. There's like a strap here, I guess. Thank you. Sometimes it's not about the accuracy of the drawing, it's about like the general silhouette. Just like, that seems about right. Oh gosh, hobbit clothing. The hobbits lead such an enviable life. Their main concern is just comfort. Comfort above all else. Clothes, comfortable. Food, comfortable. Adventure, what's that? And they all have little vests. And like button-down shirts, but like they're big and poofy. But yeah, hobbits are an aesthetic. Let's see, I think I'm gonna have them hunch up a little bit more. Like they're all leaning in over campfire, question mark. So there's actually, speaking of music in Lord of the Rings, there's actually a musical group. I think they're a family of singers. And they've taken Lord of the Rings music and actually set it to music and they like sing it. And their stuff is very good. They're called Clamavi de Profundis, and I listen to them at least like once a day. Their stuff is great. Yes, so they take all the stuff that like Tolkien wrote in the books and they literally like set it to music and perform it. Yeah, their stuff is great. I think it was another one of those like chance YouTube algorithm discoveries for me that like they popped up and I was like, wait, no, come back. Who is this? Give me more. Yeah, like they did a cover of, I guess it's a cover of the Misty Mountain song, and I think that's kind of where I first heard of them. But yeah, they've done like the song of Beren and Luthien, which is kind of the poem or song that Aragorn and Arwen are kind of a parallel of. they did the song of the Entwives, like the sort of Treebeard singing the sad song about like, oh, there's like no more Ent women left, and that's a really sad song. But it's a great song. It's just like, man, if you want to feel like melancholy, if you just want to feel something, yeah, just go listen to that song. Yeah, their stuff is really good. I'm like, how are you just like a family of like a baritone, a tenor, a soprano? It's just crazy. They have some, I guess you could call it Catholic stuff, where it's like Latin sort of liturgies and stuff, but yeah, all their stuff is really good, so I highly recommend, since we're on the topic of Lord of the Rings and music. I love the Ents in the Two Towers. It's just like, you just want to like shake them and just go like, please just do something. And then they go and like tear down everything. So good. Yeah, so you know how we were talking about, yeah, just being just kind of unable to consume media in high school. Yeah, I had to borrow the Two Towers from like my English teacher's husband because they knew I was a gigantic just nerd. And yeah, I basically had to get permission from my parents, like, hey, can I watch this like 3-hour long? Two Towers is just like one battle scene. So yeah, that was just good times. I had to like ask for permission to use the TV. It was just nutty. Mary's gonna have a mandolin, which I want a mandolin. I own a guitar, but I also want to get a tiny guitar. Because it just seems, I just like the sound that it makes and I want to learn it. Alright, let's see. How does one hold the frets on a guitar or a mandolin? The eternal question. Are hobbits just hardcore cottagecore? I would agree. I think so. Perhaps the OG cottagecore. The cottagecore to which all other aesthetics aspire. Cottage in the ground? 7 meals a day? Cozy English countryside aesthetic? Yeah. This is maximum cottagecore. Get on my level beneath the ground. Apparently there's like a hobbit hole. Well, I know I'm sure tons of folks who have done like reconstructions besides the one in New Zealand, but I think in Washington there's, I want to say it's like a garden store, like a nursery that actually built, like they put a steel pipe in the ground and like made a hobbit hole. And I was like, dang, so jealous. Yeah. I just want to live the hobbit life. A mock-up? A hobbit hole Polly Pocket? What? No, I haven't seen this. Oh my goodness. That'd be enough to get me into Polly Pocket. What a good 90s toy. Hobbit hole Polly Pocket. Oh my goodness. That's amazing. Nerd House. Yeah, seriously. That's what I aspire to, is just Bilbo's house, Bag End. I just want maps and like old-timey portraits and clocks and stuff hanging on the walls. Bag End is the aesthetic that I aspire to. I literally have a Pinterest board that's like Lord of the Rings decorations. And yeah, it's just Bag End. I'm not not sure what they're sitting on. They are sitting, but I'm also conveniently hiding whatever they're sitting on behind themselves. So I don't have to draw it, because I don't want to. Life hacks. But yeah. Oh, I would pay such good money to just wear a vest and capris all day. Alright, now I gotta think of 2 other instruments. What did we say? Fiddle? Frodo is too cool to play an instrument. I don't think he's going to be playing an instrument. Down with minimalism. Comfortably lived in joyful clutter that's a good aesthetic. It's like, that's Aziraphale from Good Omens, that's hobbits from Lord of the Rings. I think there's something to be said for just, like, listen, it's not quite a mess, but it does indicate that someone lives here. Like, this is a place that people live. It's not artificial. It's not like a hotel where they just keep it like, oh, here's a potted plant and here's like a pillow. No, I want to feel comfort. I want to feel something. Let's see. How does one hold a violin? Ugh, let's see. Yeah, if I had a face cam on, you guys would just see me like holding my hand in different stupid poses, trying to figure out how to make this pose work. Oh goodness. Oh, let's see. What's this? Oop. Oh my goodness. What? That's amazing. Yes, I want 10. That's adorable. Yeah, I would pay good money for that. Oh, speaking of, again, kind of on a Lord of the Rings kick, I had the inclination to make pancake art for the first time today. And I didn't post any pictures of it because I felt kind of, not bummed out, but I was like, like, this was my first attempt. I did try to make a hobbit hole, like the door, kind of like in this mock-up, but I made it too big. So I ended up tearing the pancake in half when I tried to flip it. And I was like, well, I kind of assembled it back, but yeah, today was attempt at pancake art. I made like a D20 and that turned out okay. But yeah, I think I was too ambitious with the hobbit hole. Bilbo as a Polly Pocket is amazing. What has it got in its pockets? Oh my goodness. This is so good. This is too adorable. I'm gonna keep this tab open. It's so good. But yeah, so pancake art. All of the food coloring was out, and it took me a second to realize why. Like, you know, it's Valentine's weekend, duh. But I had some cocoa powder, and I was using that as the like the line art, I guess you could say. But yeah, it was. I aim to do better next time. Now I kind of understand how how pancake line art works. Oh no. Yeah, I mean, the pancakes tasted great. I'm like, I don't care if I'm making mistakes. I still get to eat pancakes. It's all good. But yeah, I think as soon as I drew the circle for the door, I was like, oh, this is too big. We have flown too close to the sun on wings of hubris. What does Sam wear? Sam's like down to earth. rolled up sleeves. Also, he's a bigger boy. He thick. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I watched a video, just like kind of a 5-minute how to do pancake art, and because I was trying to figure out how to do it without like actual food coloring. And yeah, one of the techniques they were saying, like, yeah, just do it through cooking time. I was like, that's insane. That's to achieve shading through cooking time. That's not even like, oh, let me just make it darker or press down harder on my tool. It's literally like, I don't know. That's next level. That is so next level. I love it. People who make food art are just too powerful. I'm too impatient. I'm like, I just want to eat the food. I've gotten a little better, like, oh yeah, presentation matters, but also am hungry. Want to eat. I'm sure there's a musician out there who's like, that's not how you hold any instrument. To which I say, I don't care. This is how they hold their instruments, because they're hobbits. Yeah, there is a YouTube channel that I got on a kick on watching for a little bit, because they made tiny food, like just small food, on small kitchen, and it was very satisfying to watch because it was impressive, but also I have not the time to make a tiny, you know, whatever, pizza. I don't have that kind of free time. But it was really fun to watch, and in a kind of like, wow, it must be amazing to have that kind of free time on your hands, and I'm jealous. Yep, it was the one who, tiny knife, tiny stove powered by candle, tiny cutting board. Like, their gear alone cost like, you know, hundreds of dollars, because apparently that's a thing too. Yeah, but very impressive. I forgot the name of it. But yeah, I watched, I think, all of their videos because it was just fascinating. Whoop. Bad. I know, Frodo's gonna get like a tambourine. Not even a real instrument. My apologies to all tambourine players out there. But yeah, it's man, if there's a niche interest you have, there is somebody who's made videos of it and probably has a whole channel dedicated to it. The internet is a wonderful and strange place. What are hands? Let's see. Frodo wears... What does Frodo wear? He's got like... I think they described his costumes as like, oh, he's like a prince among hobbits. He's supposed to be like dignified. I actually have the Lord of the Rings like movie book. Again, in my quest for content that would escape my parents' radar. I think that was one of the ones that was like, acceptable media won't be confiscated immediately. So I've got a book full of useless trivia about the Lord of the Rings movie. Alright. Okay, we're just making up staging at this point. I don't know what Frodo's legs are doing. They're back here. Let's see. Got 10 minutes before 10 over here in the Midwest. Let me see if I can throw down some quick inks on this bad boy. Math sorcerer. Wow. That's amazing. I would be down to learn math from the math sorcerer. Honestly, it's like, whatever helps you learn, that's whatever is going to, you know, sort of get the message across. That's awesome. So that's this whole channel. It's just the math sorcerer. Welcome to my scrying stone channel. We're going to teach you the most complicated magic of all. Magic of math. I'm gonna have to look that up now. I'm gonna add that to my to look up pile. Yeah, for a while, one of the schools I worked at, they were offering like online classes, and unfortunately there was just something happening with the classes where the kids were having difficulty with like getting access to the teachers, and so yeah, they ended up having to like go onto YouTube and try to find tutorial videos. And they were asking me for help because I was like the proctor, but I wasn't teaching the class. I was just there to basically, it's like tech support. So I was kind of watching some of the videos that they were looking up in a bid to understand the material, and yeah, it was basically along the lines of Math Sorcerer, where it was like people who had just made YouTube channels to explain these different concepts. And on the one hand, it was super cool because I was like, dude, you know, free knowledge. You can go online and learn literally anything. It was just a bummer for the kids because I was like, the teacher should have been teaching you this. I'm like, and I'm not here to be the expert in molecular biology or German. I'm literally just here to make sure the machines stay on. Frodo does shop at the Gap. The rest of the boys shop during clearance. Yes, very accurate. Sam's clothes are just hand-me-downs from like his brothers. He doesn't even shop. What would the fantasy equivalent of the Gap be? The Gap of Rohan. It was so disorienting to me to watch one of the Thor movies with, I think his name is Carl Urban in it, because he plays Eomer in The Lord of the Rings. I was just watching it. I could not stop thinking like, that's just Eomer. Banana Republic. Gosh, I'm trying to think of all the like mall stores. JCPenney's. Are they even open? I feel like they're going out of business. Nordstrom. For some reason my brain went Claire's. Like, that's not even clothes. Oh no. They were typecasting Hugo Weaving. It's amazing. He does have like evil energy in the movie though. Like he's just like this dude who's been around for so long and has just seemed like so much bullshit. But yeah, I think if you're not familiar with it, he absolutely does read as like, this guy's straight up evil. It's like, no, listen, he's just tired. Elrond is just tired of mankind's shit. Yeah, The Matrix was another one where I think surprisingly I was allowed to watch it, but only because I was like, I think in college by that point. Let Elrond rest. 2021. I love Elrond. He's just such a jerk. Like, stop being such a jerk to Aragorn. Elrond says, get out. Elrond says, stop making these same damn mistakes. I've seen it once. I've seen it a million times. Just stop, please. Elrond says, get off my lawn. Get off my beautiful elven lawn. Okay, 4 minutes. I'm gonna like speed run the rest of this. I may have to finish this another day. This is kind of a fun drawing. I'm very glad you suggested this. I kind of want to do this one in color. Or like monochrome, because I'm not a very good colorist. But yeah, that's funny. I thought it was evil. It's like there's no plot twist here. The only plot twist is Saruman, and he's already like just very evil. He doesn't even hide it. Elrond says, oh, humans, back at it again. Yep. Yeah, Elrond has seen some stuff. The best part of Lord of the Rings is the fact that the elves are just like, we're over this, we're leaving, bye. And they just get in a boat and just go. I envy them, because that's how I feel a lot of the time. Just like, I just want to leave. Have you seen Lord of the Rings, Dave? Surely you have. Yeah, I think my favorite characters have just like shifted over the years. As my, oh wow, in one sitting. It's brave. Have you read the books? I'm assuming if you have, not in one sitting. I wouldn't say that watching the movies in one sitting if you haven't seen them before in one sitting. It's not necessarily an idiot move. I think it's just perhaps a bold move. It's just a lot to take in. Particularly if like you haven't consumed the books beforehand. It's just like, it's a lot of lore. It's a lot of, you don't get a lot of context for what's going on aside from like, yeah, there's like this, you know, there's this ring, people fought over it, and like there's all these different countries and stuff. Ooh, nice. The elves are like, I did my part like 500 years ago. I'm not doing this again. Bye. We're looking for the car. Question mark? What car? Can I fit? Oh, there we go. Boop. Looks like my mandolin was incorrect. It had 4 tuning pegs instead of whatever, 6. Yeah, I think I watched all of the like behind the scenes of the Lord of the Rings, and now I just can't watch the movies without thinking in my head like, oh, this is where Aragorn broke his toe or whatever, and this is where you know, Peter Jackson is making a cameo. It's good stuff. Just a lot of fun Easter eggs. One of the oh, I think I remember that scene. There was a dust cloud being kicked up by a car. Gosh, I know I've seen it. I'm trying to remember where that happened. I want to say it's like right as they're leaving the Shire. I think it's where Sam is like, this is the furthest away from home I'll ever have been. Where there's like a scarecrow and stuff. I think that's where it's at. That's very good. I forgot all about that scene. Or the fact that there was a car in it. Did you know that in the first movie, in the town of Bree, which is like that first like small village that the hobbits get to, the guy who's munching on a carrot is Peter Jackson? I didn't know that for years, because he just looks like a hobo. Yep. Yeah, right before they get to the prancing pony, and they're like being like, whoa, whoa, tall folks. Yeah, the first like sketchy looking dude that the camera sort of encounters is Peter Jackson, just like munching a carrot, just looking like a dirty fool. It's amazing. And when you watch it again, you're like, oh, yep, nope, that is dirty Peter Jackson. Alrighty, well, I think I'm gonna have to maybe cut it here after having finished just Merry and Pippin. I will finish Sam and Frodo and post the finished bit. That is absolutely a goal. It's just when you're the director, you can absolutely just put yourself in the movies. Peter Jackson does have strong hobo energy. You have people in these like very regal outfits or just very fantasy-esque outfits, and then you see like Peter Jackson in a t-shirt and shorts, and he just looks like, what's this bum doing here? Oh, Peter Jackson. But yeah, so here's what we did so far for our Valentine's Day stream. We've got, well, that's my starting soon screen. I didn't know what to draw, so I drew a cat. We have my original characters. We've got Brightholt, we got Dunok, based off the random table generator that I was rolling off of somebody giving each other a gift. We've got, there we go, we've got Thanatos and Zagreus doing, one getting the attention of the other, also from this table. And in my coloring, it looks like Zagreus is not wearing any pants. I will rectify that, or leave it, whichever's funnier. And we've got those hobbits. We've got those hobbit boys playing some instruments. So I will definitely finish this because I really like this. It's very charming. So again, thank you for the suggestion. Thank you guys for coming. Zagreus in his just booty shorts, in his booty tunic. We'll see. I might have to draw that. But yeah, thank you all for coming. Thank you for joining me. Happy Valentine's Day. Stay warm, stay safe, and I will talk to you all later. Bye.